what are the 3 concerns that they have in Malaysia as such? So that they are supposed to pick the 3 concerns, and we also got it from the global study, what are the 3 concerns that globally across the 26 countries. The top 3 that you can see across the globe is unemployment, governance, which is the government and corporate contact, poverty, social inequality. So that's the top 3 which came off from the global stand perspective. But having said that, global is a 26 countries average, so it does differ from country to country. You can see the results across. So something like employment is mostly some of the European countries, some of the developing market, and depends on the stage of the development, it does varies and the concerns vary. But what is for Malaysia? So the top three for Malaysia is immigration control, governance, and unemployment. So that's the top 3 which came up for the Malaysia. So it's very close to each other, so it's not much far from each other, so that we group it as the top 3 in itself. So one of the things which surprised us, as you can see, that globally immigration control was one of on the 10th rank, whereas in Malaysia it came up as one of the first. So that's one thing which is quite surprised us. Why did Malaysians globally we do know there is a lot of noise around in most of the European market and in US about the immigration, but in Malaysia what? So that's what we're trying to explore and try to understand. The main things which is coming is we define immigration control as foreign workers in each of the local market in itself, and that's coming across the sectors, but mostly from Malays in itself. So, and that too from the lower income profile, that Malays specifically from the rural areas in itself. That's the key deviation from the actual data where it's being highlighted more than the others. Also, we see this as a concern from household which is less than 3,000, so it's like lower income household as well. They feel that immigration control as one of the main concern in itself from immigration control from foreign workers. When we look more into the data, we see there's a correlation with immigration control with one of the top 3 reasons, which is unemployment, as one of the things is quite correlated in itself. And we try to understand a bit, unemployment comes as the 3rd main reason, which is quite close to immigration control as such. So that's also popped up as one of the things. And unemployment is mostly highlighted by female. That's one of the group which is being prominently highlighted across, and household income less than 1,000, the same as what you have seen the immigration control, and also among Gen Z, so those people who are in schools and they are trying to be in university as such, so they feel that unemployment as one of the main concerns affecting them.
Asians, the immigration control is like the top concern, but globally it's like, I mean, way down the pecking order. Why do you think that's the case?
Okay, so globally it depends on which countries, as I was saying. So some of the countries immigration control is far bigger concern than Malaysia. So whereas in Malaysia, though it is on the top, we have other concerns as well. So if you look at the data, so countries like Australia, UK, and the US, and most of the countries in the Europe as well, immigration is one of the global main concern. Whereas if you look at like India, China, or in Saudi Arabia, which is one of the largest market globally, that's not a big concern. So it's only very few percentage who actually express it. But when you average all these 26 countries, so that you have like say probably 6 or 7 of them is actually mentioning it as a concern, but the remaining 20 or odd of them, it's not a big concern. So that's why it's going down to the 10. Whereas in Malaysia, we're looking individually as in our market. So that's the difference.